We're back. This is Renovate and Build with Jim and Sandra, powered by Fair Trade Works.
Well, I feel like I've been hit with a hammer after this past week. It's amazing how fast the summer flies with these long days and you're trying to cram everything in. Good morning to you. Hope you are enjoying this great start to the weekend. We're happy to have you along for Renovate and Build this morning.
We sure are, and we hope that all your listeners can join us on our upcoming birthday celebrations on August 28th. That's a Thursday evening from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. We're celebrating our second year since the launch of Fair Trade Works, and we're going to be doing it in style this time. We've got an award-winning choreographer lining up the entertainment, the talented Andrew Reed from Big Fish Interactive leading us through some of his leadership activities and interactive games, a free buffet, cocktails, and let's not forget about our infamous prizing.
Yes, and each of our vendors, as they are famous for, give away incredible prizing at our events like Coach gift certificates, lamps, Pottery Barn gift certificates, wine, chocolate baskets, spa gift certificates. I think I've tempted you enough there. So come for the entertainment, enjoy the food, and you can leave with some gifts. Space is limited though, so please RSVP at contact us at fairtradeworks.biz.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a fun night, all jokes aside. It's, it feels like dog years since we've been in the industry because we're just 2 years old, but it feels like we've been going for decades, and it's we're really looking forward to gathering all our friends and family and vendors and clients together for just to have some fun and just relax for the evening. So.
And a night of dancing with you and the boys. That's a little surprise. We'll be talking about that later on the show as well. And I'm also looking forward, Jim, to speaking to our next guest who we're so lucky to have join us this morning. His name is Ron Schwanger, and he is the principal of Architect, a full-service living architectural solutions company located both here in Vancouver as well as having an office in Seattle. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you for having me. I much appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Welcome, welcome, Ron, and great to have you here on Renovate and Build. Ron, for those who are not familiar with Living Architectural Solutions Company, can you explain exactly what you do?
Well, we have been in business for 10 years here in the Lower Mainland, and we also have a satellite office in Seattle. And we specialize in providing infrastructure that allows plants and living architecture to be incorporated into buildings, otherwise known as green roofs and living walls.
How did you get started in this business?
Well, I got started about 8 years ago. I was involved in the building envelope side of business, building envelopes being the outside of a building, the outside shell of a building. And at that point, there was a movement towards sustainability. And a lot of that sustainability was associated with the reduction of a carbon footprint, or the energy used by a building. And it seemed at that time that the industry was moving towards something that we refer to as LEED, leadership in energy efficient and environmentally friendly design. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. That's done through the Canada Green Building Council and the U.S. Green Building Council. And at that point, I became very interested in that and very quickly realized that some of the most impactful things that you could do to a building were things like green roofs and living walls. They cool the environment around the building, and they provide habitat. And also, we now live in an age where we're seeing a lot more stormwater events and flash flooding events, and so green roofs and some other parts of living architecture provide something called stormwater mitigation.
Yeah, it's very cool. Ron, what would you say has been your most exciting project to date?
I would have to say that the most exciting project, it's not necessarily the biggest project, but the most exciting project we've ever done is Van Dusen, the new Van Dusen Visitor Center at Van Dusen Gardens on Oak Street in Vancouver.
That's that beautiful tulip kind of shaped building?
Yes, it was actually designed by a landscape architect. She's now 93 years old. Her name is Cornelia Overlander, together with Busby, Perkins, and Will as the architect. And we worked with her. We worked with Sharp and Diamond landscape architects, and making sure that green roof did what it was supposed to do. And it's doing quite well right now.
It's beautiful too. It's not just obviously functional. It's attractive to look at, and that's why I called it art.
Yes, it is. It really is quite beautiful.
Is it true that building actually has a zero carbon footprint? Is that correct?
It's very close to that. Yes, they conserve rainwater. They actually treat some of their black water, their sewage water, right on site. Of course, it uses less energy because there's hot water solar and other solar elements up on that same green roof that we put up.
Okay, you tempted me. You threw in there a quick one. You said it may not be our biggest, but it's our most exciting. Tell me about the biggest then.
Well, one of the biggest projects we ever did was in North Vancouver on a new Loblaw store at 17th and Lonsdale, and that was about a 40,000 square foot green roof that we did, and we actually have a time lapse showing the building of that green roof on our website under our project gallery.
Wow, that you could have a little mini putt-putt up there. It's such a large
That's right.
So while we know you're doing a lot of these large commercial projects, and we see buildings around Vancouver embracing these sustainable architectural walls like Whole Foods, for instance, what can residential clients do to implement these projects into their home designs?
Well, we're doing an awful lot of residential projects now. Most of them are in the form of smaller green roofs on like detached garages. We're doing a lot more green roofs on portions of home renovations and home additions. But we're also seeing interior and exterior living walls being built. And it's really motivated differently than in the commercial projects. Commercial projects, a lot of the green elements are put in to help with the development permit application process, whereas residential projects are motivated by the values and emotions of the owners of the home, right, which I have to congratulate them on because it's really kind of nice to see.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Ron, what would you say the biggest challenge for your business is? Is it, kind of education, awareness, or the last thing on, that's what the last thing the client really budgets for, especially in a residential project?
Well, you've indicated a lot. First of all, that's a very good question. We have to educate at a number of different levels. Predominantly, the design community, architects and landscape architects. A lot of this is brand new, and they're not used to designing this in and specifying it in. So we spend a lot of time educating. One of our other bigger challenges is managing expectations. People need to realize that green roofs and living walls and living facades are actually natural living elements, and they need to be taken care of. It's not like a new kitchen cabinet. You put it in and you forget about it. You actually have to care for it just like a garden.
I think it's just fascinating, Ron. We could keep you here for a couple hours talking about these, where it's headed to, because as you said, it's just becoming mainstream. There are so many green experts kind of leading the way, but a lot of people now are seeing this is the way we have to move forward. So thank you very much for sharing this information with us. I hope you'll come back.
I'd love to, and thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thanks so much, Ron. We've been speaking with Ron Schwenger, the principal at Architect. You can find out more about his living architecture solutions at his website at architect.com. That's ARCHITEK.com. That's ARCHITEK.com.
And we have unfortunately come to the end of another Renovate and Build. Thanks so much for listening. Next week we have a great show lined up for you as well. Some of the highlights include a look into Coquitlam area. That's on Neighborhood News with our Neighborhood News reporter next week, Robin Elliott. On Product Face-Off, we'll delve into the latest in shower doors. And we're going to be speaking money. And of course, we all know we can never talk enough about money. That's going to be with Tony Ionetti.
Great information continues with Tom Lucas and Sherry Brown on Radio Real Estate, right here on AM 650. See you next Saturday.
Have a great weekend.
Introducing a revolutionary new construction system. This is Renovate and Build with Jim and Sandra.